Pod, East Podcast, WATP.
Husey recently had Chad Zumock on his show. And so, as we all know, Husey's a big fan of the Ant-Man, Anthony Cumia.
Sure.
Who's currently, well, he's not hospitalized. Missy let us know that he's out of the hospital. He's doing very well.
Good.
So that's great news. But apparently, not everyone is pulling for Anthony to do well. Our buddy Chad Zumock has his thoughts on the topic.
Jesus.
He really is just a giant piece of shit, and I do enjoy pointing it out from time to time.
Opie and Anthony month.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. It'll never stop because I know radio guys. I've been around them a million times, and I have no problem with Opie, even though he's going to have a problem after this. Opie and Anthony are both egomaniacs. Both of them. You guys are fucking egomaniacs. You could easily get along if you wanted to, but no, you have huge egos because you made all that money and had that fame at one point.
First off, Chad talking about being an egomaniac and saying people can get along easily is crazy.
Right.
Chad's
Also,
one of these. Go ahead, Mike.
why Chad inserting himself into a 20-year relationship and just dissolving it down to like, they could put their differences aside. Like, no, they hate each other. Who cares? Like, yes, Opie does have a tremendous ego. I don't think Anthony does. At least not the vibe I get from him. But maybe he does. But they had a 20-year relationship, and Chad's like, they'd be fine together. Like, who the fuck is he to say?
But he's also saying that they're egomaniacs, and that's why they can't put their differences aside.
Hypocrite.
And just get along. Now, I remember when Chad first started sniping KB and doing Cumia's Cocks, and he finally had 200, 300 people watching it, and he was insufferable. He was winning. He had all this money. He could buy houses. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted. Chad's one of these guys, like Tower Gang, that if he were successful would not be able to handle it well. In fact, I remember when I was hanging out with Ray DeVito in Detroit at our live show. Afterwards, we were hanging out at the bar, and I was asking Ray about what Chad was like when they lived in Cleveland together, and Chad was on the radio, on the Alan Cox show.
Yeah.
And he was insufferable. Chad had a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of fame in Cleveland. People knew who he was, and he was such a pain in the ass. He's such an egomaniac that they couldn't deal with him. They had to let him go from the show. Alan Cox was just like, I can't have this fucking guy be the third mic. He thinks he owns the place.
Right. Chad's the guy whose attitude is most of the reason for his lack of success, and he's trying to tell people how to adjust their attitudes.
Yeah. If only they would listen to me. No one should listen to you, Chad. You're a fucking moron. All right. Let's hear what else he has to say. Let's keep it classy, as Missy says.
And I don't care if you don't like me, either one of you. Anthony, I don't wish you well. I think you're hilarious, but I want you to be dead.
Jesus Christ. So, but you have a problem with Opie? I thought you and Opie got along.
I'm fine with Opie. I think, but he's an egomaniac. He's every radio dude I ever met. Like he blew me off. He was supposed to do our football show. Blew me off. I went on his.
Oh, it's personal.
Yeah.
Okay, of course. He's like, every radio guy I ever know blows me off. Yeah, because your football show has no viewers. Nobody cares. And also, Opie's not going to have any hot takes on football. I can guarantee you that. The Eagles are pretty good this year. Are they, Opie? Yeah, my Philly crew thinks they're pretty good. Yeah, your Philly crew has got that figured out. Good job,
Well,
Ope.
Chad
Thanks
also-
for hopping on.
Chad really choked up on that one, like he had something profound about to come out of his mouth. And he goes, I want Anthony to be dead. He sounded like a fifth grader.
Yeah, I know. Good one. Wow, this edgelord over here, Chad Zumock. Well done, buddy.
His dumb show that gets 37 views 4 times. I didn't really want to do it. I just did it. And he thinks he's still Opie from 2001. You're not. You're fucking bottom of the barrel. Hughesy's more popular than you are.
Ooh, sorry, Husey.
So again, anytime Chad goes on someone's show, he's doing them a favor.
Yep.
He's like, I did Opie's show. He wouldn't even do my show. Opie's nothing. Well, Chad, you going on a show didn't help at all. So what does that say about you?
Exactly. In the same breath, he just doesn't realize.
He doesn't even fucking realize it.
Well, what's even shittier than that attitude is going on and telling Opie how great he is and kissing Opie's ass. And then afterwards being like, I did it. I didn't even give a shit about it. It's like, well, you were pretending to. You didn't go on with the attitude of like, this does nothing for me and everything for you. You didn't have that attitude when you were on the show. So where was that?
Yeah, good point. Because you're right. When he was on there, he was kissing Opie's ass.
Right.
Talking about how great he is. Now, he's the same guy who used to wear the captain's hat because he was steering the ship just like Opie used to. So Chad just goes wherever the wind is blowing. He loves to talk about how he's not into a pile-on and then he can't wait to be part of a pile-on. He's such a fucking douchebag. Apparently, he's supposed to go on MLC and Kevin Brennan is going to bring in a psychiatrist or a psychologist to evaluate him or something.
Oh,
and from what I've heard, it's been negotiated $800 for Chad to do this.
Wow. What
Chad,
money well spent, Kevin. We're going to find out that Chad is a liar.
Whoa. Yeah, I was going to say loser, but yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't normally negotiate on behalf of non-clients, but Chad, get more money. Tell Kevin you need $2,000 or else you're not doing it. Or else you're walking.
Now that's revenge.
You could do better than that. I think that Kevin should pay you up front $2,000. That's what you're worth, Chad. Make sure you get that fucking money.
It's like I said about the IQ test too, where like I would do the IQ test against John. I think it'd be funny. It'd be funny if I lost, almost honestly. But
yeah, it's a win for me either way.
Right, exactly. So my whole thing was like at the end of it, because Hack Ride's like we gotta make John do this, and my thing was at the end of this, like, or what are we gonna get to call John dumb? Like we already know that, you know?
Right.
So like this whole like, oh, we're gonna test Chad and his psychological state. No, like we've done a pretty good job analyzing him. I think we know the problems.
Right. The best possible scenario payoff is not that great.
Right. Exactly.
Well, we got the proof that everybody already knew. So, okay, cool. Good stuff.
Who are these podcasts? WA